Hi everyone. So the second part of my video is going to be downloading and installing for Ubuntu into VirtualBox. So you'll go to ubuntu.com and go ahead and just click on the download now right there. Actually, let me go back. So you can click on download here and then click on get Ubuntu desktop and then scroll this down and pick whichever version you want to do. I had chose 22.04.3, so you click on download here and it will automatically download to your download folder. It brings you to this page where says it should start automatically. If not, click this to download now, and then they give you uh, a link to how to verify the download or installing. Uh, the reason I left this page open is because we have different things here like installing it, how to run an Ubuntu desktop using VirtualBox. So it's going to show you how to get it going. Um, or you can also put it on a Raspberry Pi, or you can upgrade if you already have it. So uh, once you have it installed or downloaded, excuse me, you'll open up VirtualBox, and then you have your Ubuntu virtual machine that you created. You're going to click on settings, click on storage, click where it says empty, click this, um, choose a disk file, and then you're going to navigate to wherever it was. So you'll choose the ISO, and then you'll click OK, and that little quick thing mounted it. So then you click Start, and it's powering up, and it should boot to the disk drive. So, um, and you get this code or this message. I always click that, and then it's just telling you that once you're inside there, uh, your mouse and keyboard are captured by that. So let me do this. I'm going to slide this in a little more centered. I think, yeah, if you click on this little blob, it'll hide those. So the book may have its own username and password that you are supposed to use. I'm going to set this up as my own user, me. So you'll go by whatever the book has in there if they recommend a username. Otherwise, make it whatever you want. So some things to note are the time is going to be UTC by default. Uh, let's see. So you get the install screen, click your language. You can either try it, which is live CD, or you can actually go ahead and install it, which is what we'll do. It will detect your keyboard. So if it's correct, go ahead and click continue. Um, go with the normal. Um, I always do this as well. It installs things like codecs and stuff like that for you. So by default, that's not checked because of the open source nature of Linux. So I may pause this. Um, okay. All right. So if you're doing this in a virtual machine, just go ahead and click what it has there. If you're installing it as a dual boot, you're going to click something else and you're going to set it up yourself. So I would just go ahead and do install now because I'm doing it in a virtual machine. And it prompts you and says, okay, this is the changes we're going to do. We're going to create to our hard drive. We're going to create a partition as an ESP and then an AXT4. So then you can click your time zone. That'll actually change the time up here. Thing to note is if you're doing this on a regular computer and you're dual booting Windows and Linux, you're going to have to go in and make some changes. Otherwise, when you go back to Windows, your time will be 6 hours or 5 hours different. So again, the book may have usernames and passwords to use. You can choose login automatically, require your password. Um, I'm going to choose login automatically, even though, uh, you can do it either way. Go with what the book has if the book specifies anything in the installation. And I'll pause. This is going. You can click on this drop down, see what it's doing. You can click through here and it gives you a brief little tour about what some of the features of Ubuntu. So again, I'll pause. Okay, so it took about 7 or 8 minutes to install, which is pretty fast for this. Uh, you'll be prompted with this restart now. So you'll click that. You may have to come down here and unmount the uh, okay. So as you can see, it turned gray down there, so it already unmounted it for you. So all you have to do is hit enter. Something else to note is that if you look down here in the lower right hand corner, it says write control. So yeah, when you're inside the window, it's captured. If you hit that button, it actually frees your mouse up. So that's another way of breaking that capture. So you don't need to do any of this unless you want to. So I would just click skip. You don't need to do this at all, not for the glass. Um, I just leave that as send it. Um, you don't need to worry about that either. So, so there's apps that you can install. Um, if you want to install some of them, you click that. Otherwise, go ahead and click done. So, and I'll show you what the right control does here. It breaks that capture. It's hard to tell. So one of the first things that I would do uh, normally is I will actually it prompted me right there, but um, when you're on a desktop, it'll come up and it'll tell you it's got updates to install. Let's go ahead and click install now. If you want to see the details, you can click details. So whenever you see Linux firmware, you're probably going to have to reboot the computer, the virtual machine, just because it's going to be a new kernel. So while that's running, I'm going to come down here. Let's see what I'm looking for. There's terminal. So with Ubuntu and most of the current versions of Linux, you'll use sudo to do things with the root or administrator. Um, it used to be you'd have to type su, and then uh, type your password or the root password, and it would let you in. That's not the most secure way of doing it, so they use sudo now, and you have to be on a special list that your user account will automatically be on. That list allows you to run commands as root, kind of like the administrator, run as administrator on Windows. So, all right. Now, had that not popped up, what I would tell you to do is type sudo apt-get update 2 ampersand sudo apt-get upgrade. Put in your password. It checks for updates. And then if there's upgrades that can be done, it'll prompt you for those. Um, I'm not sure why those two were kept back, but that's a topic for another time. So that's how you install Ubuntu in a virtual machine. Same process goes for other Linux versions. Same process goes for Windows and whatever else.